It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago, and it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio. This is America's Podcast. What's the buzz? Tonight, hiding in plain sight, signs and symbols. Do you really know what you're buying these days? Do you really know about the company that you're buying from? After you take a look at their corporate logos, you might want to think twice about doing business with some companies. And to help me walk through this is my man, Big Cal. Call me Callum Yater. How you doing, Big Cal?
I'm doing well, having a excellent evening.
Good for you. And God bless your girlfriend for putting up with your nonsense.
I would have trouble putting up with me too.
Yeah, I tell you what. No, she's a good girl. Let me bring your name up. There you go. There's Big Cal. He's my co-host. So Cal, you and I talked a little bit last night about CERN. You'd be interested to know that the actual corporate logo for CERN is 6 in triplicate, 3 6s. That should tell you all you need to know. That should tell you all you need to know about CERN, brother.
This is definitely the devil's world. Let me ask you
a question. What was your takeaway from last night's show? Because we've had kind of mixed reactions, to be honest with you.
I mean, my takeaway, how should I put this? Everything is bullshit. Nothing. What can you trust anymore?
Well, yeah, exactly. Here you go. Now, people understand. When I say that CERN's corporate logo is 3 6s, I'm not kidding. Look, there you go.
Oh my God.
That's CERN's logo. It's 3 6s.
Well, that's concerning.
Well, remember what I said last night. Remember I showed you on the map, and it's there in broad daylight. You can see it on the map as a giant number 6. Okay? What you're looking at is an exact replica of that giant 6. There are 3 of them interwoven. That is not by accident, Cal. You would be hard-pressed to say to me, hey, Mad Dog, then maybe it's just a coincidence.
No.
Yeah, and it was a coincidence that George Washington just happened to cross the river into New Jersey from Pennsylvania, right? Wasn't a coincidence. It was a deliberate move. Of course it was. Let me show you something. We're going to start off. Usually, I do one of these jobs. I'll talk a little bit and then I'll play a video. We're going to do something different tonight. We'll play a video first. I want you to take a look. These are companies that we deal with every day, Cal. You've done business with these companies. I have. That's it. Let's just pick a couple out. All right. What do you see? Let's see in the Tostitos logo. What stands out to you in the Tostitos logo?
The crosses, the T's look like crosses.
Interesting you should say crosses because they're actually people. They're actually people with their arms out like this. But what's interesting, since we're in that location, what's in between those 2 people? Because there's some controversy. Is it a bowl of salsa or is it a glass of wine?
Tostitos, they make I get the party pizzas from them. Don't they make like chips as well?
No, that's Totino's, brother. Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. That is hilarious. No, I know what you're talking about because I like their pizza.
Oh yeah, everybody thinks they're shit, but I can eat them every day.
Well, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something here. Well, let's take a closer look because we can do this on this show. We have all kinds of liberties here. We could do all kinds of shit. Let me show you something real quick. I want to bring us. I want to like zoom in on that Tostitos logo. Here you go. Here you go. You see the people that you say look like crosses?
Okay, yeah, I see them now. They
Yeah.
do look like people, and that does look like wine. And is that a chip, or is that supposed to be like
Ah, there
taking?
you go. You got it. You exactly got it. The two people, the two people that make up the two T's on what that actually is. If you look at what's in between them, it's a chip. It's a nacho chip, right?
Right.
And that's a bowl of dip. That's salsa because salsa's red. It's made of tomato. There are people you could explain that to people, Cal, and they will swear to you that that's a glass of wine, or it's here you go. Here, some people say it's blood. That's not a chip. It's a knife stabbing another person. This is the kind of crazy shit that I come on here and I have to explain away to people because they're morons.
What about that Apple logo?
Well, let's take a look at that. Where is it up here? Is it Apple up here? Oh, there it
Yeah.
is. If you now, here's an interesting thing. If you take the Apple logo and you have two of them side by side, you know what you'll end up with?
Well, when they're right side up, it's an alien, a gray
It's an
alien. But
it's
if
an
you turn it,
alien. Yeah,
but if you turn it upside down, it looks like the devil with big horns.
exactly. Exactly. Do you know why Apple chose to have a bite missing?
That represents at the when Eve took a bite of the forbidden fruit.
Nope.
Nope, way off.
You're looking at the bite that's missing on the apple is on top of the apple. It's simulating the stem of the apple. That's where your bite is. It's at the top of the apple. Look at it.
Hmm.
And it was placed there deliberately because they knew what they were doing. They knew that if you inverted that and put them together, you got a gray alien. They also know that if you take that gray alien and flip him upside down, he looks like the devil. And there are people who will look at that and argue all day long that there's nothing there, there's no alien. You and I, Cal, didn't you and I do it on the show together? Didn't we show people together?
Oh yeah, this was like a few months back.
About 5 months ago. Yeah. About 5 months ago. You know?
Oh yeah.
People
No,
don't understand though. This is so simple. Here you go. Something that we every single day we see this. Amazon. Amazon. What do you notice about the Amazon logo?
well, it's like an arrow going from the A to Z.
Why? Why?
I can't wrap my head around why.
I'll tell you why. Very simple. It's so simple. It's in your face. That's how simple it is. Amazon sells goods from A to Z. Anything you want at Amazon, A to Z. And what else is there? That arrow also creates something else. A nice big smile. You see that arrow? You see that smile?
Yeah.
Okay. Be amazed at Amazon. By the way, just for shout out to my daughter who was at work at Amazon tonight. My daughter works there.
I used to work for Whole Foods, and Whole Foods got bought out by Amazon, and
Yeah.
they enacted a new rule once they gained ownership of the company that all new hires start out at 15 an hour. And I'd been there for about 6 years, and they refused to move me from 12 an hour. Fuck.
Oh, you know why?
Huh.
Because you're not a new hire.
Exactly, but still, if I'm there for
That's
like,
how they get around fucking people out of seniority. That's why you end up with bosses that are half your age and know a third of what you know. And I don't agree with it, but it's a sad fact of life, brother. It's just the way it is.
well,
Here's
what?
one that people don't think about. The NBC logo. What's different about the NBC logo?
Well, it's no longer. Well, isn't it supposed to be like a peacock?
That's exactly what it is. Right dead smack in the middle of it. The red and blue feathers make up the peacock's face. Do you see the beak, the peacock's beak sticking out?
Yeah.
There you go. Here's one for you. I have one of these products in my home, LG. Okay, that 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 red logo there underneath Toyota. Okay, LG. You know what LG stands for?
Mm,
So simple, and yet,
no one knows.
yeah, of course we do. LG stands for Life's Good. That's literally what it stands for. Life's Good. That's the name of their company, Life's Good LLG.
I see some of these companies are European brands I've never seen before.
But the other thing about it is if you look at the LG, it makes up a face. There's the I, the L is the nose, the G is the face, and there's a little dot there. That's the eye of the face. You see it?
Okay, the L's directly in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it now. Uh, okay.
I got one for you. This one will. Let me find this. I'm gonna
That
pull this
Vio
up
one
quick.
looks interesting.
Here's one for you. You're gonna like this. You're gonna love this one. This is very interesting because there are any number of people I've showed this to, and they're looking at me like, what drugs are you on? Tell me what you're looking at. So I want you to see this, Cal, and you tell me. Do you see anything in the Tublerone? By the way, do you know what Tublerone is?
I've never seen it, but I'll tell you that in the mountain, it kind of looks like Karl Marx.
You're not the first person to say that, but what you're actually looking at is a bear. You're looking at a brown bear.
Oh, I see it now. He's standing on his side.
He sure the hell is. And by the way, if you don't know, Toblerone is a very, very popular. It's the second largest selling chocolate in the world, underneath Hershey. Toblerone is an Italian chocolate that comes from northern Italy. That signifies the mountain. That's where it's made. It's made actually on the border of Italy and Switzerland. because Italy and the Swiss Alps connect together. They connect each other. And so that bear represents the Alps and the area of northern Italy where they make the chocolate. Now, those and it's and everybody has looked at it and go, and you're not the first one that said Karl Marx, by the way.
Yeah, like
And if you want to know if Cal is on drugs, he's not, I assure you. But you can see an eye and what looks to be a mouth and a mustache and the whole bit.
Well, now that you've pointed out that there is a bear, I cannot unsee it. But before you pointed it out,
and that's the whole point. You're not supposed to unsee it. You're not supposed to unsee it. They don't want you to unsee it, brother. No, they want you to see that. Absolutely, they do. Why? Because if you see it, you'll remember it and you'll buy the product. That's the whole point. Let's go back to our list. We got some. I love doing this kind of stuff. Let me ask you a question. You ever been to Wendy's?
Of course.
You see Wendy's logo down there?
Yes, I see the 666 where the collar.
Oh man, boy, are you off? Holy shit!
Huh?
Is that what you think it is?
I guess I'm way off.
Yeah. You're going to see how way off you are here in just a second, brother. That's funny, though. Where did you see? You know what? Better than that. Here you go. Better than that. Let's bring it up. We have the ability to just pop things up around here. Let's take a look at Wendy's. Here you go. Here's Wendy's. Here you go.
Okay, it's covered by. Okay, there it is.
Now, show me what 666 you looking at. What you're looking at and what people didn't realize is that the word mom appears on Wendy's neck. Do you see the word mom?
This is okay. So the one I was looking at a meme on Facebook, and they had 666 highlighted in the collar.
Yeah, so, well, they're wrong, and this is the actual Wendy's logo.
Yeah, I see mom now. I feel silly.
Let me tell you how this came to be. Okay. Here's how this came to be. Wendy's logo. The word mom appears on Wendy's collar. The reality is that designers said, while it's true that the word mom appears there, it was quite unintentional. What happened was, when they were creating the artwork, the necklace that Wendy was wearing was given to her by her father, Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. Now, here's the thing. The collar was there. That's all that was there initially. But when the board of directors met and to approve the logo, they said something's missing on Wendy's neck. It looks like just a head floating there. We need to put something there. So the artist literally at the table, the artist literally took out a blue brush and he brushed those blue lines that you see. It conveniently and coincidentally happened to spell out the word mom. And that is exactly what happened. Now, let's talk about that Toblerone thing that we just talked about. The claim is that the bear hidden represents secret societies tied to Switzerland. That is, I can debunk that. That is not true. The reality is the bear is a symbol of Bern. where Toblerone originated. As I said, it's made at the foothills of the Swiss Alps that connects Italy and Switzerland. The town of Bern, also known as Bernia in that region, the town of Bern is where the Toblerone factory is that makes this product. So not only are we going to debunk some stuff, we're going to have some fun with other stuff. Amazon, here you go. Here we just talked about Amazon, right? The claim is that the arrow under the logo hides deeper meaning, control, global dominance, and occult symbolism. Explain the fuck to me, how the hell did you get a symbolism out of a friggin' arrow that points from A to Z? The reality is that the arrow connects A to Z to form a smile. It signals everything from A to Z and the customer satisfaction. That's what the Amazon arrow and smile is all about. Okay. Let's see. Why do these things spread? And it's really basic. It's elementary. It's in some cases it's really silly and stupid. But why do they spread? Because hidden words to us, hidden symbols to us, hidden meaning to us, always feel intentional. They always feel deliberate, right, Cal?
Yeah.
But here's the problem. They're not always deliberate. We just saw it with Wendy's. It was an accident. It was a happy accident. Literally, the people that are still around, by the way, that artist that made the Wendy's logo, he's still around. And he's only in his 70s. He's not an old guy. You know? Because that was not the original Wendy's logo, but it is now. Why? Think about something. The word mom. When you think of the word mom, what do you think of? Not you, Cal, but when people think of the word mom, what do they think of?
Usually God.
No.
Mother is the name of God in the hearts and faces of all children.
Well, but mom represents love, nurturing, food. Who is the mom? She's the one that puts the food on the table. She's the one that prepares the food. It would be natural that the word mom would appear there. That's why they left it like that, because it represents family. And if you know the story of Wendy's, Wendy was adopted. Dave Thomas and his wife could not have children. They adopted Wendy, a little red-haired girl from the middle of Nebraska. That's where Wendy started, in the middle of Nebraska, by the way, just so you know.
Wendy's hasn't been the same since Dave Thomas passed.
Well, that's because he's no longer. You remember something? Dave Thomas was the owner of his company. And as the owner of his company, he had a direct hands-on approach. When he passed away, everything became corporate. Corporations don't know how to do business on a personal level because all they think about is the corporate bottom line. Not that that's bad. It's just, it is what it is. The other thing about secret signs and symbols, and we're going to be here for a little bit, is that there is and you know this, Cal, being, and because we've talked about this last night, as a matter of fact, there are certain pattern recognition that you point out when you look at something. You said it yourself. You can't unsee it. Okay? You can't unsee the bear in that mountain.
Yeah, now I don't even see a face.
That's exactly right. Humans are wired to find meanings in shapes and patterns, even when there is no meaning to be found. Sometimes it's just a shape. Sometimes, Cal, a shape is just a shape. Sometimes it's just what it is. But you can't tell people that. And look, let's be honest, Cal, you and I, we love a good conspiracy here. It's true. We love a good conspiracy.
Oh yeah, even the crazy ones that I know are total BS. It's just it's interesting to hear other people's thoughts and views.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we just read. The other thing now, when you get into corporate logos and government logos, all right, we're going to take a look at something here, and very important. But let me just bring this up here. So what we're doing here tonight's show, by the way, folks, is signs and symbols hiding in plain sight. Because that's kind of like what we do around here. We like to pull things out and pull them out of the closet once in a while, and that's somebody's in the hey, Kenneth Jarrett's here. Texas girl's here. There she is. Even Amelia says it says mom in the Wendy's logo. By the way, Amelia got a bone to pick with you, young lady. What the hell are you doing in the damn chat? You're supposed to be over here with us. Okay? All right, I won't say it no more.
I don't even see the chat.
You can't see the chat?
No, only thing I see is the studio chat. I don't see the private chat at all.
Really?
Yeah, is it popping?
Well,
there we go. Now I see it.
Did you turn it off? Because I just turned it on for you.
No, I just signed on like I normally would and noticed that I only saw the studio chat. I just assumed that that's how you had it set up.
Yeah, and Kenneth, by the way, Kenneth Jarrett Singleton is 1,000% correct. You know who Edward Bernays was?
No.
He was the nephew of a famed shrink psychiatrist, Sigmund Freud. Freud, by the way, in my opinion, was highly overrated. And I think he gained, and I think Kenneth will agree with me, I think Freud gained notoriety because he was the first person of his kind back then to use the kind of language that he used and mesmerize people with his, elocution. He said things in a way where people believed him. By the way, Freud was one of the most uncredible people that ever practiced psychiatry. And I don't have a whole lot of respect.
If I remember correctly, wasn't Sigmund Freud?
The claim was made, yeah. But again, there's no, there's no basis to it. Like, how do we authenticate that? How do we? There's no way to authenticate it. There's no one around anymore. Cal?
Understood. It's just him, Albert Einstein.
Mm-hmm.
This
is why Freud was so obsessed with. He was a sex offender. He was a sexual deviant. Truth be known, Freud was. When you have a sexual dream, now it's referred to as a Freudian dream. I don't know why. Why give them credit for your sexuality? The only thing he ever did was promote blatant deviant sexual behavior. And, by the way, if you practiced it back in them days, you got arrested or you got thrown in a loon bin. Because that's what they did with people like that. They threw them in the fucking bin. Kenneth, thank you for bringing that up. Very important. But you have to understand something. And I love a good conspiracy. I really do. I love me a good conspiracy. But not at the cost of the truth. Because I am much more a seeker of the truth than a seeker of, the sensational or the you want to call it the the media effect. I'd much rather just speak the truth. Here's the problem. When we talk about hiding in plain sight, especially among conspiracy theorists, um, there is this tendency to make everything about the bigger picture. And I understand being a conspiracy, and I'll just tell you, I am a proud conspiracy theorist, but I'm also level headed enough to believe that not everything I believe is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the truth. If you follow that like Cal just did, God bless you. You're a better person for it. Shut up, Cal. I'll smack. Shit. He's laughing because he knows where I'm going with.
Yeah.
All right. So, but that's the thing. We conspiracy theorists, we do what we do because we're looking for the bigger picture. What's behind it? Here's the thing, folks. Sometimes there's nothing behind it. Sometimes there's nothing to it. If there is, we will tell you. There are people today, 26 years later, 25 years later, who believe that 9/11 was the result of Islamic extremists with box cutters. There you go. There's a weapon for you. A box cutter on an airplane that happened to fly into the World Trade Center. Let me tell you something, folks. If you believe that's the truth, I got some swampland up in Minnesota for you. Okay? It's called Duluth. You got to understand something. If there's truth to be found, we'll find it. Sometimes there's just no truth to be found. Foundational symbols are interesting because they often require deciphering, like a codec. How many times have you, for example, passed by the Washington Monument or the White House, or you've seen a picture of Washington, D.C. from the air, and you go, oh, that looks like a pentagram? Or the Washington Monument is a giant obelisk, but it's sending out signals. The St. Louis Arch, by the way, we're doing that next week. The St. Louis Arch, for example, people, since they built the thing, swear today that it's a gateway, that it's a portal. Well, guess what? They're absolutely right. It is. It absolutely is.
It's just not activated.
They activate it 4 times a year. It's activated at the end of every 3rd month. Why they do it like that, that's the mystery of it. It's not a mystery that it's a portal. We've known it's a portal. We've known it. That's not been the mystery. The mystery is, why did they activate it every 3rd month, only 4 times a year? Don't know. We don't know, and they ain't saying. So if anybody out there knows, I would love to know. Cal.
Yes, sir.
I want to throw some symbols up here. Here we go. All right, my friend. I got some symbols up here. You recognize any of these symbols?
I mean, it all has stuff to do with like Greek and Roman, Spartans. You got.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm looking at.
I'm going to sit here and let you bury yourself. Go ahead.
I'm looking at this one on the far right that has the 3 legs.
Uh-huh.
That looks like, maybe something coming out of a portal. Uh,
You're
oh,
right. Go ahead.
uh,
What you're looking at are very reminiscent of Roman and Greek symbolism of ancient Roman Greek. Okay. What if I were to tell you that everything you're looking at there came off a U.S. monument here in America?
which one?
Which monument? Several. Everything from the Washington Monument to Mount Rushmore to the Department of Justice to the FBI to the to the Supreme Court. Think about what you're looking at here. I'll just point out a couple to you. Okay. You're looking at the three-legged, the 3 legs, by the way. They symbol, and I had to keep it here. And I want to make sure that I do this right for you because I saved it. I had to find out what that was.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Here we go. There we go. Okay.
Still getting used to the new controls.
They're called the 3 legs of man. They represent, and I'm make sure that I get this here. Here we go. The 3 legs of man. It is literally the symbol for the country, the Isle of Man, M-A-N. It's their national symbol, the Isle of Man. Where is that located? Off the coast of Greece. Okay.
Okay.
And I wanted to make sure I had that because it's also been utilized at CERN. They've also utilized that logo at CERN. We saw it last night, and you probably don't even realize it. But what you're looking at is the Department of Justice with the scales. You're looking at the Supreme Court with the top building, 4th one in. You're looking at the smaller building with the column missing. That actually represents, I believe they're calling that the Department of Justice.
And under that is Caesar.
You're looking, yeah, and you're looking at the olive branches, which you can find today on the presidential seal. You can also find that on the penny. You got the wheat symbol there, and then you've got
the 2 mask. That's like entertainment. Like this is basically kind of the way I'm looking at it. It's kind of glorifying idols.
That's exactly what it is. But that's what we do all the time here, don't we?
Yeah, one nation under God.
Hello. Hello. I mean, yeah, hello. Okay.
That's creepy.
The notion of hiding in plain sight. Why hiding in plain sight? Believers suggest several reasons why a secret cabal would be so obvious. Is number one, a hypnosis and normalization. There are people who believe that we are victims of mass hypnosis. And I can see that. I see that as plausible because we all have something now that we never had before. This thing, okay? We all have a cell phone. We all have everything is digital now. You can't even watch TV the way you used to. It has to be digital. Analog television doesn't exist anymore. You're not going to get you could try to pull something out of the air. By the way, that's where we got the term on the air. It literally your shows used to literally come out of the air
Yeah,
from
like
from
the bunny ears.
yeah, from signals. Okay? So I can see where people might think that we're all victims of mass hypnosis. And I can see some people falling for it because look, here's just the way it is, folks. I'm sorry, but this is just the way it is. In every society, in every culture, in every country on planet Earth, there are people who are weak minded, who are feeble minded, and quite frankly, there are people that are just stupid and gullible who will believe that. I count myself blessed that Cal and I are among those people who think before we react. Because these things are not here to get you to act. They're here to get you to react. You understand the difference between? I know you're a smart audience, so I'm going to say, okay, you do. Cal, tell everybody why we get so antsy when it comes to secret symbolism. Why do we get so testy when people talk about secret signs and symbols?
Because they are everywhere. And then you've got a population, like the entire the population, and you'll get like a quarter of the population that's actually able to see it, while other people who choose to live their lives brainwashed in a box, they just, that's the best way I can put it,
Well, continue with that thought because you're on a bit of a roll there, young man.
Well, yeah, people just don't understand all the subliminal messaging. Like, even
Stop right there. You just nailed it. You just fucking nailed it. People don't understand. That's it right there. I'm sorry. It's just that they don't understand, and that's what it comes down to. I just showed you this right here. Okay, which I just showed people this. Okay, and we went through this. Signs and symbols in architecture and monuments, the United States Capitol, the dome fresco, the apotheosis of Washington depicts George Washington ascending to the heavens, surrounded by classical gods, small g, little s, gods, often discussed in relation to Roman symbolism. Hello, what are you looking at? Hello. In U.S. government design, Washington Monument, an Egyptian-style obelisk. Obelisks appear worldwide and are sometimes interpreted symbolically beyond their historical origins. Here's one for you nobody thinks about. We've actually done shows on this one, Cal. You're going to love this one. Okay? Whoop, wrong one. There we go. There we go. You're going to love this one, Cal. The Denver Airport. Pitbull and I did 3 shows on the Denver Airport. We are going to do a 4th. Because we've got new information coming out of the Denver Airport, but as we speak, by the way. Frequently mentioned in conspiracy culture because of its murals, dedication, and some people calling their dedication stone a satanic time capsule. I can assure you their foundation stone may be a lot of things, but I will absolutely attest to you it is not a satanic time capsule. Rest easy there if you're flying in and out of Denver. Okay. It is often called the New World Airport, and it should be because the commission that put it together was called the New World Airport Commission.
New World Airport Commission.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. They called it the New World Airport Commission because, and nobody bothered to ask this question, but I did. Why? Why is it called that? We found out when we did our last show. Very simple. It was a brand new idea for an airport that expanded beyond anything any airport before or since has done. It was new in scope, new in structure, new in size. It's the largest single airport on planet Earth. Okay? The Denver airport is singularly the largest airport on this planet. Period. Bar none. End of story. Why wouldn't they call it the New World Airport Commission? It represented a new world in air travel. That's what it represented.
New World just has a negative connotation.
And I understand that, and we talked about that. But here's the thing you need to understand, and I get it. I really do. I get the negativity, and I'm not saying to you I agree with it. I don't. I think that it's a very off-putting name. If you're very sensitive to stuff like that, you're very put off by the term New World Airport Commission, especially considering their symbol, their mascot, their logo is a 60-foot blue horse with red flaming eyes named Lucifer. And in the building of Lucifer, the man who built it died because it came crashing down on him in mid-construction when they were erecting Lucifer. And I'm not making a word of this. Let me show you what we're talking about. Let me pull this up, Cal. I am going to pull this up for you guys, okay? Lucifer the horse. Here you go. Where do you see this thing? Can't make this up, my brother. You can't make this up. Let's pull it up right now for you. No, have you ever seen it, Cal?
No. Like I'm learning a lot tonight.
Feast your eyes on Lucifer.
Oof.
That's a 60-foot high bronze, alloy, metal, steel, aluminum, humongous sculptor. That thing that you're looking at fell on the guy who created it, killed him instantly. You would have thought maybe they, as a way of paying respect to the guy, they would stop it. No, what they did was they brought in another artist to finish the work. He was almost done anyway.
Wow.
That's what we're talking about.
That's not the original work then. Like if you have to
no, it is no. It is absolutely all original. It is all the artist's conception. He was only like literally a day away from presenting this when this thing fell on him. You see how it's standing up like this? It's erect. Okay, like this, it's standing up. Mm-hmm. They were in the process of putting it up like that when it fell on them. So what happened was there were some minor fractures and breaks in this. So they brought a team of artists in very quickly and sculptors to mend the damage that had been done. Like one of the legs fell off, that broke coming down. Because the legs that you see that are like this, Cal, They were supposed to be like this, outstretched. Lucifer was supposed to be outstretched, but his legs are retreated back because when they broke, that's the only way they could put them back and make it look presentable. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking that's not how a horse's like naturally when a horse jumps, you're gonna. It just looks weird because
It does because you've seen horses jump; their legs go out. You know,
yeah, that's very off-putting.
I want to see. You know what? No, let me see something here. I got it right here. Let me see something. La, 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 la. Where are you? There you go. There we go. This is how, Cal. This is how. Here we go. This is how a horse would naturally look. I'm going to pull this up for you. This is how a horse would naturally look. I'm going to pull this out of here and put this up for you. Bear with me, folks. This is live and we do things, and sometimes we do things off the cuff, but that's okay. We could do that. Here you go, Cal. This is a more natural depiction of how a horse would be with his front legs outstretched.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That the photo of Lucifer, the statue, I mean, that just looks like he's ready for takeoff or something.
Right? And now look at that. And look at that. Okay. That horse, Lucifer, by the way, if you look at the mane on the back of his head, those manes are spikes, by the way. If we ever get a really good up close, look, you saw last night at CERN. They have the goddess, the satanic goddess Sheba there. Right?
Right.
Now, it doesn't get any more in your face than CERN. Oh, yes, it does. Wait a minute. Denver. Hello. You know what we're saying? Look, every day we do business with companies like this. All we're saying, folks, is be aware of who and where you buy from, because not everything you're seeing is family friendly. Always in everything, always use discretion. We always tell you that. Use discretion. Discretion, as they say, is the better part of valor. Why is that important? Because if something happens and you get fucked up, it's nobody's fault but your own. You know why? Because you didn't listen to Big Cow and the Mad Dog. Damn it. Go ahead, Cal.
Be careful where you spend your money at. The people that take your money, they use it for sometimes very evil purposes. Stuff that
very nefarious. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what I will never do. I will never, and I am an animal lover, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I have had many animals, particularly dogs, in my life, but I will never give a dime, not a penny, not a nickel, to the ASPCA, to the Humane Society, because 79% of the money that you give goes to salaries and administration. The animals get less than a penny for every donation that you send. They get less than a penny. So it takes a lot of pennies to support these organizations. You get where I'm going with this, folks? I will never support the United Way because 90% of their salaries, 90% of their money goes to salaries. The head of the United Way, the president of the United Way, the CEO, take a wild guess, Cal. How much the CEO of the United Way pulls in a salary every year?
I'm gonna just guess maybe 8 or 9 mil.
You're in the right stratosphere. You're in the million stratosphere. 2.5. 2.5 million a year for a charity. For a charity. Okay? By the way, let me ask you a question, Cal. Is the Goodwill a charity?
No, they're a business. They are there to make profit.
Exactly. Kenneth Jarrett Singleton, thank you, my friend. You are always welcome here. We love having you here. I love having that guy here. Man, he's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. You're absolutely right. The Goodwill is not a charity, despite the name Goodwill. Let me tell you how that one came to be. The man who started the Goodwill, who is still alive, by the way, and his family runs that company lock, stock, and barrel. You cannot franchise a Goodwill. It's all family run. It's all old money. They literally chose the name Goodwill because they preyed upon people's goodwill to donate items to their company. And people give them free stuff. They give it for free. And Goodwill turns around and sells that free stuff for a very healthy profit. Why? Because it didn't cost them anything. It's all profit. Do you get it? It's all profit.
I need to start my own version of Goodwill.
Yeah, it's called the Goodwill of Mad Dog and Big Cow. Damn, son.
Bring us your shit.
Mm-hmm. We have a couple shows coming up I'm going to talk to you about. We are going to do Double Trouble on the Road. It's not what you think it is, folks. It's not about tire trouble. It's not about having a flare kit in your car. It's about celebrities who travel with their body doubles and lookalikes. Okay? And it happens. It happens more than you know. It happens a lot. Almost every performer, bar none, almost every performer, bar none, who has ever stepped on a stage has a lookalike, has a body double, ready to jump in. God forbid something should happen to them. I've seen it happen up close and personal. Okay? I've seen it happen. But I'm not going to tell you who the artist was, but I'll tell you what. Their look-alike, they sang the song the same way. They looked the same way. They had the same costume on. They were prepared at a moment's notice to jump in, and guess what, brother? They jumped in, and they saved the show for that guy. While they were in the back saving his life, this guy saved the show, and the audience never knew the difference. They didn't even know anything was wrong.
Show must go on.
The show must go on, and it did. It absolutely did. They rip off yes, they do. Oh, and that bothers me so much. That's another thing about the Goodwill that really bothers me. They exploit that segment of our society that can't usually take care of themselves. The mentally challenged, the poor, people that are struggling.
Yeah,
They get,
they pretend to give them, they give them work to make them, supposed to make them feel like they're able to accomplish things, but then they treat them like dirt just like they would you and I.
and you know what, Cal? Um, Here in New Jersey, the minimum wage is like 11.50 an hour, something like that, right? Do
Right?
you know that they're getting away with paying these people sometimes 7.25 an hour, 7.50 an hour? You believe that? And they
Well,
get away with it.
I mean, federal minimum wage is 7.25.
And that's all they're getting. They're getting federal minimum. They're not even getting state minimum.
Yeah, it's
You
terrible.
could start at McDonald's. You could start at Burger King, making $14-15 an hour with zero experience. But then again, how much experience does it take to flip a fucking burger? You know? How much experience does it take to put a burger between two slices of bread, slap a piece of cheese on it, wrap it up, and say, well, you want fries with that?
Look, I understand people have their opinions on fast food workers, but let me tell you, sometimes I feel like when I worked at Burger King, sometimes I worked harder than the job I have now.
No shit, brother. Exact, and get paid less too.
Yeah, and you got to deal with all these, ungrateful fucks coming into your drive-through complaining about everything.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, if it wasn't for them, where would you have to go on your lunch?
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. All right, my friend. We are look at that, right at 8 o'clock. That was a perfect show. I tell you what, folks, it was a good one tonight. It was a really good show tonight. I enjoyed this one for sure. I did. I absolutely did. I will tell you that next week, we've got Cal. I'm going to have to get my glasses fixed here again.
I just realized you don't have them on.
Yeah, I didn't have my glasses on all night. I'm like, why can't I see? I just looked at myself on my monitor here.
That would explain why you took me off the stream for a second.
Yeah, because I couldn't see. I hit the wrong button. All right, so next week we're doing the St. Louis Arch, and we are doing the Rise of the Clones. That's next week. Next Monday, we're going to do the deep dive. What really is the gateway to the West, the St. Louis Arch? What is it really? Is it a giant portal? Yeah, don't tell nobody because we got to talk about it next week. Yeah, it is. Is it also a weather mechanism? Yeah, it is. It sure is. We're going to talk about that. Is there something buried underneath the arch that they're protecting? You bet your ass there is. We're going to talk about that next week. So, Cal, you got some homework to do about the St. Louis Arch. Be prepared next week with info and questions. We will talk to our friends and neighbors as they join us each and every Monday and Tuesday on America's Popcast. What's the Buzz? And for Big Cal, call me Calumniator. I am the Mad Dog, Angelo, the Mad Dog DeCipio. Folks, this is what we do. It's all we do. If we make your life better, that's a good thing. If we aggravate the shit out of you, that's even better. I know Cal lives for that stuff. Take care. We will see you, Lord willing, in the creek don't rise. God bless you, and we will see you again, folks. Take care.